Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. A short video featuring Tucker Carlson being interviewed by the weasel Piers Morgan. He had to do it and I'm glad they did it. Now I don't know if these guys are spoken or not. That is where I'm gonna raise some balls out there for you Tucker and you're gonna smack them. Or really Piers Morgan is a piece of Morgan, you know what I mean? Which I already think he is. But anyway, this a little video about 8 minutes or so coming from Tucker. Tucker changed. Tucker became Emil, started cursing. He uses words that are not good words. He cursed a few times, including I think in the next video that I'm going to make, also featuring Tucker Carlson, talking about, homosexuals and if homosexuality is genetic and you're gonna see Piers Morgan playing stupid as always he does when he's about to be caught. And here in this video that I will play for you, we have Tucker who's gonna be interviewed by obviously the weasel Piers Morgan, and they're gonna talk about British foreign wars. And Tucker Carlson main point is, you are so involved in other people's wars when actually you in your country are destroying your country. I made this point actually today in a video where, or yesterday, it was the British intelligence telling us that the Russians conduct a forced Russification in the occupied territories. So that is the Russians trying to make the Ukrainians in Donbass speak Russian, forget their culture and so on. But the same British intelligence did not make an assessment on the de-Britannification of Great Britain. No, they're not interested in that. So surprise, surprise, I have exactly here Tucker Carlson talking about the same thing. You are interested in those people's wars, but you have garbage in your country. Why is that? All right, let's listen to these guys. Correct? Correct. 1, 2, 3, Polizei.
Are panicked that thousands of people, by their own admission, the admission of the British government, are arrested every year for saying words, not threats, words.
I am. I've expressed
So why doesn't someone try to overthrow the government? I don't understand. How can they treat you like slaves if
they carry on down that road?
Well, they are carrying it on. It's thousands a year, and it's getting more.
Then they will be voted out of office. I guarantee it. Yes. That's how
Is that what Winston Churchill would say? I think Winston Churchill said, even if a strong man tries to take Poland, a country we've got nothing to do with, it's not even close to here, we're going to risk the lives of our citizens to liberate Poland.
Poland is closer to here than your home is to New York.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
So it's all relative. So
listen to these guys' logic.
Well, it's a tiny little Lego Europe.
Right,
I get it.
If Maine got attacked, would you expect people in New York to help you?
Poland has nothing to do with it.
Hang on. If Maine got attacked, would you expect people in New York to help you?
It's the same country.
Okay. But you're actually
kind of a big distinction.
Well,
my country's quite large.
We were part of Europe, the same continent.
You were not part of. I call bullshit on that.
Really?
In 1940, you were not part of Europe.
You don't think? Well, of course we're
you
on
were
Europe.
Definitely not part
we're
of.
on the continent of Europe.
You are not on the continent. You're an island, dude, off the continent, separated by a body of water. Do you know what it's called between you and France? It's called the English Channel.
I know what
you are not part of Europe. That is not true.
We are part of
My ancestors lived here. You were not. You were England.
We are part of Europe.
France was considered exotic and crazy. That's where the prostitutes and the cheese eaters lived. It's only the brainwashing of Tony Blair and all these technocrats since who've convinced you you're European. You're way better than European. You're an ancient Germanic Celtic people who ruled the world. Do you remember that in your wooden ships? Anyway, but the point is, no, I'm serious.
You do
did.
some crap sometimes.
No,
it's
totally
real.
real.
But come on.
With the mask from Maine, White Pines. But the point is, your country went to war to preserve human rights in another country you had nothing to do with. But human rights are evaporating in your own country, and it's cool because you have soccer games with foreigners at them and good burrata.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying maybe something about the heroic British spirit has been diminished with time. That's all I'm saying.
But there is a very lovely, quaint notion being built up in the United States, driven by people like Tommy Robinson here.
Who's Tommy Robinson?
You know Tommy Robinson.
He seems like a fraud to me.
Well, he's not even Tommy Robinson. His name's Stephen Yaxley. It's not even his real name. He's also convicted of multiple crimes. Thuggery, fraud.
I don't even know anything about him, but he doesn't seem like he's that into Britain.
We would call him a little shit stirrer, right? However, he
But
has
the real people here, the actual Britons.
But this
still here.
idea that he's driven, that we're on the verge of some sort of civil war here. Do you feel that when you walk around?
No, because that's my point. You're so passive.
We're not passive.
They take your human rights away, and you're like, oh, defending Ukraine is so important. We're so proud to have defended Poland's territorial integrity 80 years ago. It's like, great.
Yeah.
I'm so glad.
I'm very proud of that.
Apparently.
Yeah.
But it's all a kind of displacement where you're taking your own frustrations with yourselves and your own cowardice and sort of living in this Walter Mitty world. We're like, no, actually, we're brave. We're going to defend Ukraine. It's like, what about defend yourselves against the monsters
What's
who are
wrong with
taking
defending Ukraine?
Why don't the Japanese get diabetes? Well,
8th on the list. Defend yourself. Defend
Sure.
your human rights.
Sure.
They can't put you in jail for saying naughty words.
Sure.
Period.
I agree.
So march on the Capitol. Get
I
these
agree.
people out. Scare them.
Yeah.
Do to them what you did to the Germans in Poland, which you would like to do to the Russians in
But the way it
Eastern
works,
Ukraine.
we are a democratic society with a democratic elected government.
How is it democratic?
We
Nobody
are.
wants
When
the
if a government overreaches, and I think on free speech they've lost the plot, if they do, they will get, I can guarantee you, voted out of
When
office.
was the last time Britons voted for millions of foreigners to come to their country?
That's exactly what I said yesterday. These guys don't like referenda. They rule by these weasels, elected officials, and work within the system.
Well, you don't. You vote for a government that makes
Well, you
decisions.
don't ever vote for that. So the biggest thing that's
We would, in a
ever
way-
happened in your
Well, in
history,
a way we
nobody
do, 'cause
voted for.
People flag up what their policies are going to be. But actually, what it's been is a systematic failure to control our borders going back, I would say, 25 years. That's really what's happened.
Just all I'm saying is it doesn't seem democratic. It doesn't seem that's what the people want at all.
I agree. It's now become a massive issue. And the big issue, actually, is because they put a lot of these so-called asylum seekers, and many of them are not, they're economic seekers who want a better life here. I don't blame them. It's a great country to come to. But a lot of them are being put in really nice quality hotels. And while they're being processed, sometimes for 2 years, 3 years, they're living a very comfortable, luxurious life in neighborhoods.
This is a secondary issue. See how he switched from the immigration into the second issue? The second issue, yes, these guys were over there, but why did you get him in the first place?
There is real abject poverty. And that is what is causing a lot of unrest. And I get that. And I have great sympathy with the people who live in those areas who are really struggling to feed their kids, who are seeing these people coming in on the boats illegally and being put in fancy hotels. That has to stop. And you also have to process these people.
Has to stop the process of immigration or putting them in hotels? Which one? I would like to know, Mr. Piers.
A lot quicker for their sake and for the country's. Are you a genuine asylum seeker? I never want this country to be a place that rejects genuine asylum seekers.
Why?
Well, because actually I believe that we have
Why?
a duty to take care of people who are genuinely
How
fleeing.
about your own people?
Well, what about fleeing war-torn countries where we started the war? What about people?
Stop starting
Bill,
wars.
what
You're
about-
doing it again.
Okay, but one of us opposed the Iraq war at the time, and it wasn't you.
I've been atoning for it ever since. I was
know,
one of the worst
and I led
offenders.
the campaign here against the Iraq war. Cost me my job in the end. But I led the
Good for you.
I led a front page assault on
You
that.
should
for
stick
a
with
year.
that. You should stick with that.
Well, I agree.
That's-
I take a lot of. I like to look at each war in isolation. Well, I do.
I get it. I get it. The West, specifically by which I mean your country, which is really the seat of the West, has been in decline since the war. So, like, what is that? Do you know?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's been in decline since the war. There was a lot of recovery after the war. It was a devastating war. I mean, you know, one of the most extraordinary aspects of that war is that Winston Churchill, who many people here to this day believe, you know, pretty well single-handedly rallied the morale of the people here to help us defeat the Nazis, albeit with obviously America's help, that he, in the end, at the end of the war, he got thrown out of office because so many people came back to a really bad lifestyle. You know, a lot of impoverishment, a lot of, you know, homelessness and so on.
Well, maybe were there other reasons? Like,
No, that was why they took it
did
out.
Germany attack you first? Is that what happened?
Did Germany attack you first?
Did Germany attack Britain? Is that how you got into a war with Germany?
Germany attacked Poland.
Oh, but not the UK.
No.
Oh, okay. Because that
But
detail does
they
get
wanted,
lost.
they wanted
So
to
you
take-
voluntarily joined the war.
Yes.
Okay, right. I'm not defending Hitler, of course, but it's just a fact that you weren't attacked. So when you say that Churchill saved Britain, well, Britain got into the war voluntarily.
Well, not voluntarily. One of our neighbouring European countries was attacked, and it was quite clear that Adolf Hitler and the Nazis wanted to take over Europe. This was an existential threat to Europe and therefore to the UK. So
this guy is unaware of Adolf said. He never wanted to fight the English. He thought the Brits will join him. But hey, that's a detail that Mr. Baboon doesn't know, or he doesn't remember, or he, you know what I mean, ignores.
Knowing that he would have come for the UK?
100%.
Even though
I think it's very naive.
Your politicians and there's like not one person who was saying that in 1939-40.
Well, no, Neville Chamberlain wasn't, because he totally misread what was going on. Winston Churchill completely read correctly what was going on and came out of the wilderness to actually come and save us. I think without him...
you signed a treaty with Poland that locked you into a course of action that destroyed your country. I'm just saying.
Tucker knows the truth, and the other guy is trying, thinking and hoping that Tucker doesn't know certain things. And Tucker knows them.
I honestly think the Nazis would have stopped at Poland.
I have no...
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just saying...
Yes, you do, Tucker. Come on.
Yes, you do.
Look, I'm just going by what contemporaneous sources said. I have no idea. Hitler invaded Russia, so obviously that's deranged and incredibly destructive. So I don't know is the truth.
But
he was focused on communism. No one doubts that. This was not a communist country. But I'm just saying Britain
focused on communism. I thought he was focused on the Jews. Who was in charge of communism in Soviet Union?
voluntarily joined the war. It was a war that you were not involved in and you got in. But my question is, why did it destroy Britain? I don't understand. As the victor nation,
it didn't destroy Britain.
Well, look outside.
Look outside.
We're in the city of London.
Hang on. There's Tower Bridge. There's the Tower of London. Magnificent.
Well,
office blocks here.
It changed London.
Why do you look at
Tower of London was built when exactly?
this and see a wrecked country? I don't.
Well, I don't see an English country. So we're in the city of London now.
What do you mean there? What do you mean?
What do you mean?
It's not.
What do you mean? Did you hear the guy?
Well, people whose ancestors built Stonehenge are not here anymore. So the city of London is 36% white, and that's happened in the last, 40 years.
But England is about 70% white.
England.
Yes.
Okay. Well, it was
London's the capital city.
it was 99% in 1945.
Okay, so we've evolved.
But you're on the way to becoming the minority in the country. So no one wants to say that. I think you can get arrested for saying that here.
Well, no,
that's not white supremacy. This is the indigenous population of the country.
Well, it's a statistical fact that I think by 2100, we will be a minority white country.
2063, as of today.
Well, I've read a bit later.
But these are dynamic numbers, so they change.
Yeah, but here's my question for you. So what?
So what?
If you have dementia, you should...
Did you hear that? So what?
Let me refer to the beginning of our conversation when you said that the people who live in a country define the character of that country. And then you said, yes, all the things for which we were famous and in which we had pride, like our stoicism, our concern for others, our tidiness, the cleanest country in the world now, it's pretty filthy. All those things change when you get new people moving there. You said that. I mean, you're the racist, not me. So I'm just using the parameters that you set. I
did not say that was down to
No, you didn't say you didn't.
White people coming to the country.
Well, that's who lived here.
I don't believe that.
No, but that's what you said.
I said there was creaking pressure on public services.
No.
From the increased
but
population.
You also maybe foolishly admitted the truth. You could get arrested for this. So I know the stakes are high. But you said that when the people who live in a country change, so does the culture, which is like the most obvious. It's like when it rains out, it gets wet. That's not a controversial observation, but it's illegal here because it is true. And my only point is not against. I've already said, I like the Bangladeshis better than I like the liberal whites in your country. A lot more. They've never yelled at me. I'm not attacking them. I'm just saying the things that made Britain, England. Is there still an England? I have no idea. Those are going away because there are different people living here. And if you think that those are good things in the same way that the Swedes or the Chinese or the people in Burundi and Chad, they like their culture. It's their ancestors' culture. And now it's gone. And why can't we say that's bad?
Well, this Christmas, give the gift of sleep with...
So, my friends, what do you think about that one? I would expect Piers Morgan, if he would be, let's say, a person from, no offense, Sub-Saharan Africa, and he would be in Great Britain right now or in England, I would have no problem for a person like that making this kind of arguments against Tucker, but he's not. So that's worse. Why worse? It's like I'm part of the family and I take a shit on my family. I understand if someone would not like my family and be in my country or in my family, my household, and he would talk badly, even though I will take him and out with you. Especially if you talk about this and without any chances of bringing any, how should I put it, something better, just to criticize and take a dump on my family. I don't think so. Without bringing solution, I'm talking about. Now, Mr. Piers Morgan is the weasel. We all know that. For him, it's the same thing. So what if the whites will not be in England anymore? It's like you say, so what if there will be no blacks in South Africa? Just say that and see how things are gonna. I don't promote that. I don't promote that. But hey, well, let's say my friends in Zimbabwe tomorrow will say, well, Zimbabwe will have no more black people. Oh, then will be, I don't know, Rhodesians, will be white, will be Boers, will be whatever. How do you think that would sound? Oh my God, there's a definition of this and that, ethnic cleansing, racism, and blah, 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 right? Genocide for all the good reasons, not good reasons, for you be called that way because that would be. I mean, that meets the definition. But here, no, man. So what? It's unbelievable. It is unbelievable how this Piers Morgan even makes a career, and he has a career by saying BS like this. I've been watching this guy for a long time. I don't know. He's not an idiot. That's my problem with Piers Morgan. He is not an ignorant who doesn't know. That's my problem. He knows and he joins the other side, destroying his own family. And it's not that those guys are coming here, they're destroying it. The guys who allow them to come here. They're the same guys in Zimbabwe, the guys who allow the Chinese coming, or Indians, or whites for when they're coming in their country and getting the Zimbabweans as a minority. I'm not the black Zimbabweans, not the Rhodesians, and use those and the Dutch and all that. No, just black people over there. There would be a crime for them. Those people will be hanged, will be shot in front of a wall or in the jungle, wherever. Here, you can say that, but certain things you cannot say. You cannot say, you get arrested. And I make another video with Tucker Carlson talking about the homosexuals in Great Britain because a woman was jailed because she tweeted, I think, the word, that word. You can't even say it because you're afraid that people will feel offended or something. No? Remember, this is the West. They try to make telling the truth not a revolutionary act. They make it illegal, man. They're going to hang us for telling the truth. Thank you. They are pushing that way. I strongly believe and I feel and I think that these guys would do that just like this if they could. And they are pushing towards that one. That's why I still believe in the Inquisition. That is, if those guys could, they would reverse everything. Everything will be called blasphemy and everything else. And they would burn us on a funeral pyre, or not funeral pyre, alive in the central square. I strongly believe that. And I will explain why. Go and watch Mark Dice's interviews in California, telling people, what do you think with the vax deniers and all this? Should we, the good people, put them in some camps over there? Mark Dice is very funny and smart about it. He doesn't start like, we put them in a concentration camp. No, he's not like in the camps, they can be, and they will teach them a lesson. We re-educate them. And you find Americans nowadays, I think it was 2023 or 2022, saying, yes, I think they would. What is that? And they blame the guys in the Second World War, which yes, should be blamed. These guys are walking among us right now. Right now. I say, well, who says the Christians? Well, I'm not saying the Christians, but why not? After all, that's blasphemy. It's right there. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.